We are live.
Hey, we are live. That is true.
Let's see. Hopefully the audio is okay. Good. Good.
Hey, that's our faces. Here we go.
All right. We are what? About 8 minutes away?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Come on.
All right.
Just waiting for this shadow box to go away.
He'll leave eventually. So, big thing about this is the first direct of the new year, and this is the first one they've really had at all since they announced stuff for Smash, which would have been the beginning of November. So it's been over 2 months since they actually had any sort of release, Nintendo Direct or Smash Brothers or anything type of Nintendo exclusive stuff.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what because Smash has always been kind of the thing in the last couple ones that they've relied on. Mm-hmm. It's been kind of the crutch of all the directs. So, and I'm sure there'll be a little bit of Smash content.
There's no way there's not going to be something in here.
Yeah.
Like, even if it's only a couple minutes. My guess is that they're either going to be talking about Joker or they're going to do a reveal trailer for the new character. I would lean a little bit more towards the Joker gameplay trailer. They would just have Sakurai for a minute. Here's a gameplay trailer, and maybe another little extra snippet that they're going to add to the game.
Yeah.
Nothing big. Maybe like a boss rush mode, or maybe they're going to have some expansion to the spirits modes. Nothing that's going to blow your mind, but something to add on, and where Joker's going to be the main focus of it.
Yeah, I wonder if they will reveal anyone given some of the leaks that have come out, maybe to get in front of that a little bit.
My guess, it's especially since, as you see, the main thing is going Fire Emblem Three Houses. I know not a lot of people want the more Fire Emblem characters, but if they were going to do it and they're having a direct specifically aimed around Three Houses with other stuff happening, might be the time, so who knows.
Yeah.
But besides Smash, which is always a hard thing for me not to talk about, I do believe we are going to hear about at least my gut. I'm only picking 2 games we're going to hear about. We're going to hear about Luigi's Mansion, and we're going to hear about the Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to be a lot about them. I think that of this 35 minutes of Direct, we're probably going to have about 15 minutes dedicated to just Fire Emblem. Because that's especially what they're putting on the forefront. That's the big one that they're coming up with next. That's more recent. Like, they have like Yoshi and stuff, but I don't see that as like the biggest thing that's coming out soon. I think that the new Fire Emblem for the console is going to be the biggest thing, because they haven't had a console one since they had Path of Radiant Dawn, Path of Radiance. I don't remember going in order, but that came back out on the Wii, way back. So we're 2 systems.
And I'm kind of interested to see what Three Houses ends up being, because I haven't played a Fire Emblem game, right?
Okay.
So it'll be interesting to see, this big Fire Emblem release on a new console for them. Maybe there's a lot of people like me who haven't gotten into it. Is it going to be accessible? Is it going to make sense? Or, is the story going to be okay? Did I have to play the prior games to have any idea of what the heck's going on?
So the nice thing that I will say about to kind of ease off on it a little bit is that of the Fire Emblem games, while there is a very slight relation between them, you don't necessarily have to play one to know what's going on in the other. The only one that is true with that is Path of Radiant and Radiant Dawn, mainly because it's a continuation of the story. It's specifically put out there. But all the other ones, they kind of exist in their own universe. The only reason that you would need to know is that they'll always have callbacks to other games. They'll have a sword named after specifically one character in the last game. They'll have a specific character show up as DLC or something along those lines, kind of like they did in Fire Emblem Heroes, the mobile game. They'll always have people like, here's a throwback, but it won't be centric around the other ones.
Okay,
now,
so I might not appreciate the throwbacks, but I'll still understand
absolutely
them as a character.
But the point that you did bring up is that since it's going to be the first big console release, it's going to have to have something very different than what the last couple Fire Emblems had. Awakening did a very nice job of like bringing the series back to the forefront with a lot of the pair-ups and a lot of things. And all the other 3DS type releases that have come since have changed up the formula a little bit, but nothing too far from what Awakening did. So now that you're going to be on a console, you're not going to just say, let's copy and paste Awakening, the one that saved us, onto a better graphics system. That's not going to work out. They're going to have some sort of thing. They kind of hinted at that with formations and whatnot, but it's really going to have a big impact and kind of change it, how the formula is and how it's going to make it actually significant on the console.
Okay. Let's see.
What are we at? We got about a minute and a half, give or take. Is there anything else you're expecting or have any thoughts of? You mentioned leaks here and there, or anything that you're thinking is going to will be here, or you think it's just a fluke?
I hope for more Nintendo Online stuff. If nothing else, more like Virtual Console or whatever they're calling their NES console, and hopefully, honestly, I would really love some SNES games.
Oh, absolutely.
I would love it. Would totally make the service for me.
Super Nintendo is where I got into video games. Like the N64 is what brought me in, and Smash was the one that really got me dedicated to it, along with Halo. But Super NES is where like everything came together. I think I had an NES console, and I dabbled with it, and I had like a Game Boy. And it was something like in passing, but like the moment I knew like I was a gamer and everything, I was going through and playing those Super Nintendo games.
Yeah,
because they were fantastic back in the day, and I went back and played a couple of them because you can find them on emulators and stuff like that, and they hold up a decent amount. They're challenging, they're fun, they look nice.
The whole 8-bit console era is great. The 16-bit console era though was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I never had a Super Nintendo, but I loved the games so much that I would love to be able to replay it, or maybe even play them for the first time on the Switch, right? Like I want to play Super, Metroid. I want to play Super Mario World again. I don't want to keep buying these things over and over, of course. So it'd be great if it was released as part of their Nintendo Online service. Now I know that cuts into some of their retro console stuff that they have, but
I get it, but some of the retro console stuff that they have, it's been there so over and over and over again. I'm like, we get it, we played these, we love these games. Give us the Super Nintendo ones now. Give us the other ones that we loved and played. It's like we've played all these other ones that you have on there to death because you've had them on other consoles and other virtual systems.
I really like. Have you seen the SP versions of the games on the Nintendo Online service? So they basically ROM hacked their own game and have been releasing it. So, for example, like The Legend of Zelda, you start off with, I forget what it is, but you start off with like the upgraded armor, I think max rupees, more bombs, and, I think 8 bombs or something. They give you a nice starting off point because some of those games, especially on the NES, were kind of difficult by today's standards.
Absolutely.
They were built.
They didn't hold your hand at all.
Well, you only had 1 or 2 games at the time probably, and so you meant to play it over and over and kind of master it. But going back as a casual player now, even me who, I play a lot of video games, those games can be pretty tough.
Oh, absolutely.
So, like the SP version of Metroid, for example, I think they start you off at the very end. Oh, like you have max weapons and everything. Oh. So it'd be interesting to see. And here we go. Turn some of this up.
Ooh,
this is it.
So this is gonna be the Mario Maker.
Oh,
right. And there's the slopes that everybody was asking for. Right into it. Immediately into this.
I didn't even think of Mario Maker.
This is
perfect,
something.
though.
Well, this was something that they had with the leaks and everything like that. They were saying that Mario Maker was going to be in there. We didn't get a chance to talk about it because there's so much that could have been happening in this.
Right.
But this alone, I'm intrigued because this is the game this is the only game that really was made for the Wii U because of the gamepad and everything going along with it. But now they're going to put it on the Switch, which doesn't have it innately to where you can just easily tap and touch. It's not necessarily a touch feature so much as it is a portable system. So it's interesting how they're going to do this.
I was thinking about this the other day. Super Mario Maker was such a great game that people love to play. It would be a shame if they didn't bring it on the Switch, and I'm happy to see that they're doing it pretty early here.
I'm happy to see that they're understanding. It's like, hey, we did it. Wii U, we tried. It didn't work out that well. And they're just saying, hey.
Super Mario Maker. Oh, so 2. So it's not billed as a direct
It's a brand
port.
new one. It's a brand new game.
Hi, everyone.
Which is fantastic.
I'm Yoshiaki
but,
Koizumi,
like,
and I'll be your guide.
I'm glad
for
that they
today's
brought it.
Nintendo
I'm intrigued
Direct.
how they're going to do it. And it was something that, it was one of those games that was on the Wii
You
U
just
that
got your
didn't get
first
the
look at the
proper
brand
amount of
new
attention
sequel,
because
Super
it was
Mario
on the
Maker.
Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
Which we're,
they
of
did.
course, calling
Smash
Super
Brothers
Mario
was one of them.
Maker
4 didn't get as
2.
much credit because it was on the Wii U. This game didn't get as much credit because it was on the Wii U, and not
There will
everyone
be
wanted
brand
that
new
system. It
features
wasn't really a
and many
it
new
didn't sell
elements are in
so-
development.
Yeah, I mean,
as
I
we speak.
bought a Wii U,
Yeah.
but I
So please stay
don't
tuned.
really use it very much.
Immediate regret.
Yeah,
All
don't
right.
really use it very much.
Next.
So
Let's cover today's Nintendo Switch headlines.
just
For the first time in 10
Right
years,
into
Marvel.
the
Now
Marvel
this is going to be a
Ultimate
system
Alliance
seller,
series returns
hopefully.
with a new
Absolutely.
four-player action RPG
That's what's great about
and
this
an
system is they have so
all-new
many
original story. Assemble your
exclusives
ultimate
and
dream team from a huge
normally first
cast
party,
of
but it's good to
Marvel
see some
superheroes.
third-party
From
stuff
the Guardians of
pop
the
up here
Galaxy
too.
to the
when they
Avengers,
had this at the Game
Defenders,
Awards, I did
X-Men,
not
and
expect
more
it, not even
to
a
stop
little bit.
Thanos
It
and the Black
completely
Order
caught
from
me off
unleashing
guard
cosmic
and in a
chaos.
fantastic
You can play
way.
together in
And I think
TV
this
mode,
game was the
locally
one
on up to
that
4
Gibbo
systems
said
or
that he
online.
bought the Switch just to
And
play.
get closer
Granted,
to the
he
action with
put
the
it back,
dynamic
but I'm sure he'll
zoomed-in
bring it back
heroic
for
camera.
this game.
Mhm.
Speaking of heroic, it's time to go higher, further, faster with Marvel's ultimate cosmic protector, Captain Marvel. Wield her power against
It looks-
those that will do harm to the universe.
And it's a good
As
game to
characters
bring
level up,
to the
they'll learn
Switch
skills
because
you
of
can
like the
use on
bring
the
it
fly.
anywhere and play it.
In Carol Danvers'
Joy-Cons
case,
all
literally.
playing on the same system.
In addition
Bring
to
it over to a
basic
friend's
attacks
house and play it
skills,
on your individual
each hero
Switch.
has an Alliance Extreme attack. Their most
And it
powerful
doesn't.
move.
It never required
Whether you
that
join forces
big
with
graphics.
friends locally
To
or
put it on a
online,
Nintendo system
Take
where
teamwork to
graphics aren't the
unprecedented
forefront,
levels as you
Yeah.
but
creatively
it's more about
combine
the
hero
gameplay.
skills
Makes
into
sense.
synergy.
Yeah, the animated style is perfect
Your
for the
most
Switch.
powerful attacks can even be combined into an Ultimate Alliance Extreme attack. The team-up possibilities will be off the charts.
A little bit of
Marvel
a
Ultimate
cell shading
Alliance
theme.
3
I like
Black
it.
Order
It
launches
looks good.
I do
exclusively
too,
on
and
Nintendo Switch this
If
summer.
it's, the one thing that I do want from it is the length.
Welcome back,
of
Box Boy.
Playing like the length of the first one. 'Cause
Get
the
ready
first
to
one was
unload
much
some boxes and have fun
longer
doing it.
and drawn out.
The critically
and it just
acclaimed
felt
puzzle
more
series Box
accomplished
Boy
to go
is
through
coming
and
to
play that
Nintendo
way.
Switch
Mhm.
for the first time. This brand new game is
So this
tightly
game I
packed
never
with
got
tons
into,
of content,
but it
including
seemed
brand new
very
puzzles and new features.
intriguing.
We fit something else in too.
Is this a
This
port
time,
from
two
something else?
players can
It
box
was
it up
a
together.
3DS game
To restore
that they
peace
had.
on
Oh.
the Box Planet,
I
you
think
must
it
work
was
as a team,
exclusive to the
solve
3DS.
puzzles, and beat
And
those
they
stages.
said they had word of like
After
the
completing
last
the story, you can access a
Box Boy
whole
that they
separate
put on the
adventure
3DS,
starring
they weren't gonna
Cutie,
make it
the tall
anymore,
one.
But now they're bringing it over, and it looks like it's a new one that they're bringing.
In all,
So
there are
it's cool.
270
It's a nice
stages
little
to
puzzle
beat.
game.
That's the highest in the series to date.
It's a nice little
Use your
puzzle
brain
game, and I
boxes
like
to
the
think
little puzzle
outside
game
the
that
box
they have in
and lead
here.
our heroes to the
Especially
goal.
now, this is like two-player couch
Box
co-op.
Boy and Box
I
Girl
love
will
those
unload
type
on
of
Nintendo
games.
Switch
They're
April
ones that they
26th.
don't really have as much because admittedly it's easier to do stuff online, but to have them
The
every once in a
ultimate
while.
spring update.
Of course, Smash update.
So this is where they're going to
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is about to spring forward
They
with the
just
version
released the
3.0
last
update
big
this
one,
spring. What are we adding, you ask? You'll just have to wait to find out.
Of course.
Yeah.
Remember, Joker is a part of Challenger Pack 1.
There we go. So an actual
He's secretly been
sprite
preparing
of
for
what he looks
battle,
like in
and his
game.
moment will finally come before
That is
the
a
end of
very
April.
Clean look.
In other words, this year, springtime is the time to smash. And don't forget, new Super
Okay,
Smash
so they're
Bros. series
releasing new
amiibo figures
ideas
are
of
on the
what
way
amiibos
too.
are coming out. So that's
good.
That's nice.
Yeah.
This year, granted.
It's good to see him keep
There's
supporting
even
Amiibo
more
at
to
least.
explore in Captain
Yeah.
Toad Treasure Tracker.
I'm still someone
It's
that
never too
likes
late
to get
for a
them,
journey
but I'm
through
not
the
crazy
maze-like
about
miniature
them.
worlds of
I
the
think
Captain
I got
Toad Treasure Tracker game.
all my
In fact,
amiibos and
we have
like
two
the
new
ones I
announcements
wanted
for
in
the
the first
Nintendo
wave.
Switch version.
But now that the new games come out with different ones, I'll be able to go
After
out
a new
and find some
update,
more here.
all courses will support two-player co-op. Maybe Captain Toad won't be so nervous with someone at
This
his
is
side.
this is
That'd
one.
be cool.
Two
This
heads
is
are
one
better
that
than one,
It's
and an
always
extra
been like
set
a
of hands goes
sleeper
a long
sort of
way.
title to
This
me.
free update will be available
I've kind
later
of
today.
wanted to get into
And
it because
some paid
it's-
downloadable content is coming. We're adding in
have
18
it like it's a
new
puzzle
challenges
type
that'll see
game,
you
and the way
traveling
that
to
it's
5 new
3D,
courses,
but it's
from
2D at the
sunken
same,
ships
like a 2D
to a
setup at
kingdom
the
of
same
sweets,
time. It's really
and
nice
achieving
looking.
new objectives in existing courses.
I want to get into it, but like when you find out about this stuff, like Switch, Breath of the Wild, Odyssey,
Captain
Smash,
Toad
all
and
the
Toadette must
console
obtain the
sellers,
shiny
and if I
crowd in each
bought all
course,
the games
all
that
of which
look
can be
good to
played
me on
alone
Switch, I
or
would be
with
at
a
that
second
house.
player.
Which is a great
Captain Toad
problem to
Treasure
have
Tracker
for a
special
console.
episode
It's
will be
fantastic
available for
problem to have
purchase
for a
as
console.
soon as, well, later today, giving you early access to one of the courses. The rest of the content will launch on March 14th. If you don't have the game yet, look out for a digital bundle available on Nintendo eShop later today. It contains the full game and gives you access to Captain
They have
Toad
the bundle
Treasure Tracker
available later
special
today.
episode once it's available. Steel yourself for old school action in an all-new Gothic castle. The side-scrolling action of yore shall rise once more in Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. And so, the young lady Miriam, host of the Alchemist's
is this like a
Curse, must
Castlevania
use her
thing
unwanted gifts to
It's what-
slay the
It
demons
looks like
wrought
it's
by the
inspired
curses
by
of
it,
original host,
but
Jeeble.
loosely.
With these powers, she can steal the abilities of enemies, bend gravity to her will, and dart about Jeeble's castle at lightning speed. Here,
More of a
the laws
puzzle.
of reality and 2D side-scrollers don't apply. Throughout the castle, a treasure trove of side quests, deadly
So like a
tasks,
gothic
and
themed
small touches
It's a
flesh
very-
out the
puzzle
campaign.
platformer.
body is covered with weird decorations.
It's a very interesting
Beyond the main story,
side-scroller
you
from
can
the
dig
looks
deep
of
into
it,
character
and
customization,
a lot
subquests,
of these
and
side
more.
scrollers that they
Stop
have
the
now,
fall of
like the
man
most
at the
recent
hands
Mega
of
Man, and I
demons.
bet you this
And
one.
don't be afraid
they're-
to
like
show
you
them
said,
the dark
brought
side.
up earlier. It's like they're
Bloodstained,
remnants of back in the
Ritual of
day
the
when
Night
games were
emerges from
hard.
the shadows this summer.
And like, I could imagine playing that game and being like, "This
Time
is
has
so
come to
ridiculously
build a
challenging."
new
to me."
world and take on the children of Hargon. On an empty island, you'll ally yourself with the mysterious
That's
Malron
Builders
and
too.
defend your world from monsters.
I didn't play the first Dragon Quest Builders game,
Enlist
but
villagers to help rebuild
I do
and
like
fight
Dragon
alongside
Quest
you in
generally,
the story
so-
mode. Or
So
unite
I'm
with
someone
three
that
other
never
builders to
played a
create your own
Dragon
island
Quest
in
and just
local
know it by
co-op
name
or
and know it
online.
by that
You'll gather
slime
materials
the
for
blue
your
slime, yeah,
craft objects and
so-
and
tools,
the DBZ
and
looking
reach
like
new heights by
characters.
building
Exactly.
constructing with magic.
It's on the. I think it's
Now you can
something. I'm not
dash,
sure if it's the creator,
fly,
but someone works along. They work
play in
on
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z, and they also work on.
Explore underwater.
So is this like
and
Minecraft
warp
with
all over
Dragon
the
Quest?
new retro-inspired map.
Is that what I'm interpreting from the couple of
If you own
seconds
the
of
previous
gameplay I've
game
seen?
on the Nintendo Switch system,
I
craft a legendary
think so.
builder's
I think
outfit
that's what the first one was, and it
and
looks
the
like this
Dragon
one
Lord's
is
throne.
similar. I don't know if it's quite as,
when Dragon Quest Builders 2
open
launches
as
on
Minecraft
Nintendo
is,
Switch July 12th.
but I think it's kind of the same.
There are more Nintendo
heavily
Switch
inspired by
headlines to come.
Minecraft
But
design.
first, a word from Mr. Koizumi.
Well, how's it looking? Next. We have a new announcement for that classic RPG series. Please take a look.
All right.
There are RPGs, and then there's
Okay,
Dragon
so it's
Quest,
Dragon
the
Quest.
series that defined the genre. And the latest entry is charging onto Nintendo Switch in full force,
That looks
pairing
pretty
the
good.
series' beloved style and perfectly balanced battles with the most impressive scope and elaborate story in series history. Where there is light, darkness follows.
It's interesting
For
to
no
see
one does this
at this
ring
stage in
truer
Council's
than the
life,
luminary. The
they're
boy
starting to
that
learn the
prophecy
hardware
says
more
will
and push
succeed
it
the
a little
last
bit
hero
further than they
and
could when it
protect
first
the
came
world
out.
from a
Because
terrible
they wanted
land.
to, they
In a
wanted to
non-twist
sell
of
it
fate,
like a
the
take it
boy's
anywhere
royal
thing, and now they're like,
birthright
okay,
is
well, it's
snatched
actually
from
got
him.
decent stuff going on too.
Mm-hmm.
On the day he becomes an adult, he finally discovers
It looks
his true
good, and
heritage and the powers that make him
I'm
the
not
luminary.
100%. Like I said, I don't know much about Dragon Quest, but if this
When
is
he
like a
goes to the
re-release
king of
or
the
even a
largest
continuation,
kingdom for
I'm
guidance,
excited for it because
he is
now
dubbed
I'm gonna
Darkspawn.
try and get into this
So
game.
begins the perilous journey of a hunted hero, and the
Because
ragtag
it's so
band of adventurers
well
will
renowned,
join
and I
him
think
on
it's
his
one of the
quest
most
to set
popular
things right.
games in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Together
like
they'll
overall.
explore
Very
the
big,
towns
very,
and
very
terrain
big.
of the
And
sprawling,
it
detailed land.
must be
Erdrein.
for good reason.
Mm-hmm.
Monsters roam free of
It's
random
interesting.
encounters.
It looks
When you
good. It
engage
looks
them,
open
choose
world.
your strategy wisely in turn-based
Kind of
battles.
in
You must know when to attack,
kind
when
of
to
that
heal,
old
when
Final
to use
Fantasy
magic, and when to
style.
switch your
And
party
Roam the
members'
world,
orders.
get in,
As you
you know,
do, you'll
Wild
earn skill
encounters.
points,
Yeah,
which will
wild
be used
encounters
to
kind of.
teach
I
party
like
members
the old
attacks,
style of
spells,
Final
and
Fantasy. I
improve
liked
their
7.
abilities.
I liked 7,
You can
8,
also collect
and
materials
10. The
so you can
ones,
forge weapons,
and I
armor,
think
and
I played 4 as
accessories.
well. And they were all that same sort of setup,
Looking
and I
for an
like it
item
a
that
lot.
helped
I haven't
people out
met
in
a game
side
quite
quests.
like it since. I
Or
know
try your
Octopath
hand at the
Traveler is supposed to be
casino.
along those lines,
Or horse
but I just always
racing.
felt a little bit more connected to the Final
Erdrea
Fantasy.
is full of
Yeah.
surprises
Because
like
it
these,
was the name.
and this
It is
time,
the
the
big-
player has the
that-
power
it
to
was the
choose
game
on the
for that
fly
type at
between
that
the
time.
land's gorgeous HD vistas and the 2D 16-bit glory of old.
That's kind of cool.
This is also the first version.
That's
of the game
kinda
with
cool.
fully orchestrated
If you could
field
just
and
like
battle
switch
tunes.
between
If
them
you
at a
want,
moment's
you can
notice,
choose
that would be
between the original
something
sound and the
special.
new one whenever you want.
Because they did
And
that
you can
with
also
the
experience the journey
Halo
with English
Master Chief
or
Edition and all those
Japanese
that you can press a button
Yeah.
and just switch between them and go. If you could do that with this type of game where you're going completely 2D sprite to 3D sprite at just the press of a button, I would be blown out of the water. I don't think it's very likely, but the fact that the option is you can go with
That
the
would
other
be
way,
nuts.
that would be nuts, but it's still cool to see that they have a little bit of the callback to the old ways as well. Sometimes you just got the taste for the nostalgia. All this looks
Just need a little
beautiful
fix.
and wonderful and greatly animated scene, but sometimes it's like, I just want to see this little 16-bit sprite running across a flat plane and doing what I want.
First-time
You know?
players
I
and
wanna be able to
veterans
count the
should also
pixels, you
look
know?
forward
Uh-huh.
to new stories.
Too many pixels
Sees
for
one
a
of the
count. I
main
need
cast
less
members stepping
pixels.
into the
Less
spotlight,
pixels in this
shedding new
world.
light on hidden
We're talking
truths.
about these advanced
This
consoles.
hero's
Stop at
adventure
16
has truly leveled up.
The 16 bits. That's all I
Dragon
need.
Quest 11S
4K?
echoes
Get the hell
of an
outta here.
early-stage
Forget this
definitive
4K
edition.
nonsense.
Launching
I'm gonna go back
exclusively
and
on
buy one of
Nintendo
those
Switch
the
this
TVs
fall.
with the big old backs.
Let's see, RT. Yeah.
While
Those are
we
hard to
just
find
announced
now.
the addition of these new stories, there will be more new information to share in the future. Please look forward to learning more. For now, let's continue with more Nintendo Switch headlines.
I love the snap every time.
A Disney Tsum Tsum game like you've never seen before.
A Snoop Snoop game like you've never seen
These
before.
stuffed Disney
Oh,
toys
of
took
course.
the world by storm, and now they're ready for an after-hours party at the toy store in Disney Tsum Tsum Festival. What? Play with your friends
What's
and
a Tsum
family
Tsum?
in a wide variety of competitive and cooperative games that
It looks
support
like
up
a
to
bean
4 players.
Colored in Mickey's skin.
You can play online as well with players from around the world.
Yeah, that's okay.
Oh, is-
It's Eeyore. Yeah.
And you can't mention
These
Disney
are definitely
Tsum Tsum without
Disney
talking puzzles.
characters.
Connect
Lilo and
matching
Stitch.
Tsum Tsum to clear them
Which
and
is-
set a high score.
Which is more like Disney.
The game also
Disney
features a
take over?
2-player mode for local and online competitive matches.
What's a Snoom Snoom?
Disney Tsum Tsum
What's a
Festival
Tsum
will
Tsum?
steal our hearts.
Do I have
in
to see a
2019.
doctor if I have a Snoom Snoom?
Yeah. It looks cute.
Taking up a distress call in the Atlas star system. But this time, it's far from friendly. In fact, it's none other than Starwolf's infamous lieutenants, Andrew Oikonen, Pigma Dengar, and the Great Leon. Now Peppy, Falco, and Slippy have no choice but to hunt them down, like
Is
the
this
animals they are.
a
in
pure
challenging
Star
new
Fox
series
game, or
of
is this-
missions you can
No, I
only
think that,
find
so. They
in the spring
released this
update
game.
of Starlink Battle for
that, like
Atlas.
featured Star
Every
Fox.
member of the
Yeah,
Star Fox
the-
team has
it
their
used to
own
be
special
Dino World,
pilot
right?
ability and skill tree. Plus, each pilot
no,
can take on
it's-
any of the new
It's
missions
it's
and also Fox's
crafting
missions from
like
the base
aircraft
game.
type of game,
It's time
but
for a
then
game
like the
of
big
seek
thing was that they
and
brought it to
destroy.
Nintendo, so they had
But
Star
don't
Fox
expect
on it.
Wolf to play
so
fair.
This looks like it's just
Look forward to news on the rest of the additional content,
Ah,
such as
okay.
starship races and faction missions.
It's where
so
you
you're
can
ready when
buy
the Star Fox team joins the
the
Starlink Battle
pieces
for
of the
Atlas
ship
update this April.
on your own, and then you can put them together like in real life, and then you scan them into the
A
game
heartfelt
and it makes
fantasy
them more-
adventure
Oh, it's like
crops
one of
up
those Toys
once
to
again.
Life kind of.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
essentially.
Another season, another reason to wield weapons and spells
but that, I
against
think
monsters.
that was just like a little bit more on it.
Interact with townsfolk daily. Grow vegetables and fruits at the farm.
And one of the
Cook some
this
fish.
is just overall one of the great things about Nintendo is that they
Cook up a
they
storm.
don't try to strive
even
too
raise
far
monsters.
away from what they know. And that
This
can be good, that can
fantastical
be bad.
circle of life
it's
will keep
good
you
in the
coming
sense
back
is
for
like you
more
have
in
these
Rune
type of 2D
Factory 4
games
Special,
that the
fully
graphics in
remastered for
comparison to
Nintendo
everything else
Switch.
is not great. But
Battle
the,
alongside
the actual
townsfolk, and
mechanics and the
before long,
gameplay itself
you may become
by
more than
far
just
make up
friends.
for it.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that gets lost, especially nowadays, is a lot of times
See
you'll
what
see
the
a lot of
heart-pounding
games that they
newlywed
focus
life
so
has in
much
store
on
for
the
you,
graphics and so much
exclusively
on
in
how
this new
great
version
it
of
looks.
the
Well,
game.
in this title alone, right? Kind of a JRPG style, right?
Yeah.
No other consoles are pushing
Rune
pushing
Factory 4 Special will
JRPGs.
be
They're not
ripe
gonna
for
try
the
and fight
playing later
Xbox,
this year.
PS4. Forget about PC. You know, you can find those games
And-
on it, but no one's they're not putting up E3 booths and
We can
stuff.
finally confirm that Rune Factory 5 is in
And-
development.
But they're
Look forward
ones
to
that
more
they
info
sell.
in the
They
future.
sell well. They do.
Yeah.
They don't hit the absolute top of the
Soon, a
charts at
time will
all, but
come
they
to
get
slay
enough to where
monsters
it's
and rescue
justified
lost
for the
souls.
amount that you
Before
get
those
what you put
souls
into
become
it.
monsters.
And not a lot of games
In this
nowadays can
action
say that.
RPG
The
from
last
the developers
Battlefield
of
can't
Iron
even say
Setsuna
that. They
and
had it to
Lost
where like they
Sphere.
released it and then like
Step
a week and a
into a
half
realm
later their
built
sales were
upon the
doing
tenets
so
of
bad
reincarnation.
that they put it on
Its
sale.
people lead
This game
repressed
was not even
lives,
2 weeks
forbidden to
old and
mourn
you're
the
putting it
loss
on
of loved
sale.
Yeah,
ones.
it was,
That's
it was on sale for like $35 too.
Must
Like,
travel
it was
between the living
ridiculous.
world and the beyond.
And
to
that was
rescue lost
unprecedented
souls
because I
from
remember I was
terrible
talking to
fate.
Melko and he's like, should I buy it now? I'm
Becoming
like,
monsters.
yeah, because they're not going to go on sale for Black Friday. They're not going to go on sale for a while.
When battling these
Typically
creatures,
brand
the
new
lost
games,
souls
like
you've
as they
rescued
come
can
out, if
manifest
it's within the
within you,
month of
granting
Black
you new
Friday, it's not
powers.
going to go on sale. It's
Each
just
soul's
not.
Right,
It's not
so it's
something
a new
different.
release. Yeah,
So
yeah.
You must
when they
choose the
comes
right
out
soul for the
and on Black
situation
Friday or
at hand.
Cyber Monday, it's
In
on
this
sale. It's
single-player
like
campaign,
He was so
there
pissed.
will be many battles.
not only that, but it
You will
was like
fight,
such a thing. It's
and
like,
you will
whoa,
become
man,
stronger.
is this
Those who
this
fall
is how
to
the
grief
game is
are
doing?
lost,
Yeah.
and the lost don't reincarnate.
Like
The
I'm
very
not like
foundations of
they put so
reincarnation
much
will
into that,
begin
and
to
I'm sure
crumble
they made
when Oninaki launches
about
in
what
summer
they put into
2019.
it, but that's not what you're looking for. You're looking for the profit out of it.
And I mean, these
Cars,
games are
robots,
Square
and
Enix's,
Yoshi's in a world of crap.
bread and butter.
Yeah.
Ooh,
You know what that means?
a good old-fashioned
Yoshi's
Yoshi
Crafted World
game.
is almost
Here we go.
here. This time, we'd like to put the many facets of these crafty courses on display.
Ooh.
As Yoshi,
Well,
Yoshi,
you'll
that was
go
weird.
rafting.
Yoshi riding Yoshi. I feel like this. What's the
solar
rating on this game? I'm not okay with it.
Yeah.
Whatever it
Tear
is,
through the sky on a plane.
it's not high enough.
So they totally just get rid of Baby Mario,
Hey,
and they're like,
that
screw it,
robot
Yoshi
can
can
use
ride
for a
Yoshi.
miniature. Even at this scale, you'll have some challenging
Oh,
bosses
of course,
to wrangle.
Bert the ball.
Using in-game coins you've racked up, you can collect
This looks
crafted
adorable,
costumes.
though.
It does. It's a weird little. It's a weird
You wear one,
claymation
it'll
feel
offer a bit of
almost, and
protection
it's
from enemies.
Mm-hmm.
like I
There are
said,
more
it's
than
something that you'll
180
never
of these
see on
costumes.
another console ever,
And some
because
of them can be
Nintendo's the only
tricky
one's
to
like,
get your
hey,
hands
we're
on.
gonna pull this off.
Oh, Nintendo Labo.
Let's shoot
Later
that
today,
in real quick.
we'll release a demo.
Hey, you guys remember the
Let's
time we
play
sold
through
you
the first
cardboard?
course.
We're still gonna bring that up.
Yeah, we're gonna sell you more cardboard.
The Yoshi's Crafted World game
I
will
mean, if
finally
you can
hatch
sell it,
on March 29th.
like that's what Nintendo's doing. It's like,
Yeah.
hey,
We have more
we're doing
Nintendo
we're
Switch
doing
headlines
fine.
coming
Everyone's
up,
worried about
but
us.
first,
Watch, we're gonna sell
another
you
update from
cardboard,
Mr.
and you're gonna go out
Koizumi.
and buy it, and people bought.
How's it going so far?
People bought the shit out of
Next,
cardboard.
we have a follow-up on the latest installment in one of our long-running series, Fire Emblem Three Houses.
There it is.
Please have a look.
All right.
It's a lot of
Oh
green.
my.
Mm-hmm.
What could have brought you here?
I wonder if that's rendered in game or pre-rendered.
I'm not sure.
The continent of Fodlan, said to be protected by a revered goddess, has existed since time immemorial. 3 ruling powers now control the land.
So the land seems
In the
looks
south
similar
lies a
to the
region long
other
held by a
console
more
games,
than
and the story, at least
1,000-year-old
on the
dynasty, the
outside
Adrestian
seems to
Empire.
be similar.
Beyond its borders, to the frigid north, is the home of the Holy Kingdom of Fargus, ruled by the royal family and its knights.
At least there's some
To the east,
exposition.
A league
So
of
that-
nobles that heeds
like I
no
said,
king
they kinda
nor
cater
emperor,
to new
rules
audiences,
what is
too.
called the
And
Leicester
even if they
Alliance.
didn't, they have to have a little bit to explain this
Once
portion
consumed
of it.
by a tempest
Like
of
the
war
other
and
games that they
turmoil,
had like a couple
Fodlan
different nations.
and
There was,
these
like,
3 mighty
one bad
powers
one,
now
kinda
exist
bad
in
one,
relative
and one
harmony.
ultimately good one, and then there was 1 or 2 nations of the Mankini or whatever they were called. They were
In the
animal
Fire
people,
Emblem
so-
Three Houses game, you are the
Okay.
hero the world needs. You start
Okay.
out as a mercenary
character.
traveling with a group led by your father, Geralt.
Interesting.
After an unexpected incident reveals an unknown power
Full
hidden
animated
within,
cutscenes.
you'll travel to Garrick Mach Monastery, where you'll receive an offer to teach at the Officers' Academy. Around that same time, you alone begin to see a mysterious girl named Sothis, who appears within your mind.
Got you from now on,
Ooh,
right?
trippy.
Garrick Mach Monastery lies at the center of 3 large territories. It is the home
get the
base
feeling
of
that
the
Fire
Church of
Emblem Wars is
Seiros,
so
the main
deep.
religion of Fodlan, as well as the Knights of Seiros. Not only does the church serve to maintain order in Fodlan, its monastery also houses the Officers' Academy. Those who train there will go on to shoulder the future of Fodlan. The Officers' Academy is comprised of 3 houses. The Black Eagles is for students from the Adrestian Empire, including the House Leader and future Emperor, Edelgard. The Blue Lions boasts Prince Dimitri of the Holy Kingdom of Fargus as its House Leader. This house is for students from his kingdom. The Golden Deer is for students from the Leicester Alliance. Their House Leader is Claude, who is the heir of the noble family that leads the Alliance. I wonder if it's going to
be like you have to choose, like you're going to choose a path that leads you to more.
As a professor, you will lead the students of one of these houses and instruct them. In addition to the house leaders, there are many other students to meet, each with their own unique personalities and skills. Which house will you choose?
That's exactly what this is.
Students are expected to travel to various lands, sometimes with the Knights of Seiros themselves, and gain real battle experience, including everything from defeating bandits to suppressing rebellions. These may be class assignments, but the stakes in each battle are very real. Whether your students live or die will depend on your leadership. Strategize as the battle progresses to claim victory.
Slated as their instructor.
Yeah.
And that's your party.
At the
is your
Officers'
students.
Academy, your students will work diligently each day so that they may wield a variety of weapons.
The other 3 houses.
Master the study of magic.
I appreciate your coaching.
And acquire special skills such as horsemanship.
So it's interesting. I like it because like you're not just a tactician.
You have been entrusted with their future, and it's up to you to guide
so
each
essentially,
of them and help them
your
hone
roster
their abilities.
is all pretty
Through
fresh
combat experience
to
and study,
the
you
battle
can help your
component of it,
students reach their
which is not
full
necessarily
potential.
how they had it before. Most Fire Emblems will start you off with like a couple of fresh
Your
bloods
students
and, like,
can
1 or
also
2 super
interact with
powerful
each other at
people
the
that you can lean
academy,
on.
So
and
interesting.
by doing so,
Teaching
their
classes and
bonds
your
will strengthen,
students
and they'll be able to better
pass
support each
certain
other on the
classes to get certain
battlefield.
abilities or whatever.
So, and now it's even the individuals are commanding like ranks of people too.
Hey, over here!
Forward, now!
3 territories, 3 houses. Your very own journey.
So I like.
Fire Emblem 3 Houses will release on July 26th.
Okay, so fair, not that far away, not too close either. So I knew that they were gonna have like a steelbook type
So,
of thing with
how does
like
it look?
some DLC things. They've been rolling into that. For
Originally,
Fire Emblem.
we announced
What
that
I
Fire
like
Emblem
about that
3
is,
Houses
like,
would
because
release
you have
this
to select
spring.
the 3 houses, and
But
whether
more
there's a
development
story
time
behind
will
it
be
or not,
necessary.
it gives replayability.
And so the new
right
release
off the
date
bat.
is July 26th.
That's kind of what they did with Fates too. But
That
they sold
means
it
we'll
as
have to
2
ask you to
different
wait a
games.
little
This one's
longer.
one game.
But we hope you'll look
Go
forward to
through,
the next
beat it with
generation of
one,
Fire
and
Emblem
then
all
go
the
back to
same.
another house, try it with them, try each of the different characters.
Time for some more Nintendo Switch headlines.
Because what they had before is that you could go in and you could
In this
recruit
next
people
entry
in a
of this
specific
iconic
way,
series, the last player
but it was
standing
always
wins.
generally the same. In the one where they had Fates, you had 2 different
99
games that you
players.
could play. So you can play as the one
only
side,
one
or you
reigns
can play as the
supreme.
other side.
This is
This looks like a.
Tetris 99.
It's a Tetris VR game.
The
Are you kidding
iconic
me?
puzzle game arrives with an online experience like no other.
What?
Nintendo Switch Online members can battle for dominance.
So
in this free-to-download game.
weird.
Oh my god. We've gotten
You're attacked
full
with
meta.
garbage.
Tetris is now a battle royale
Attack
game.
back to defeat other 98 players.
That's what
Become
we're
the
doing.
sole
We're gonna be
survivor.
like, I gotta get the damn L block, or I'm gonna lose this.
Nintendo
I'm gonna
Oh.
get
Online
that chicken
members
dinner,
be
damn
ready
it.
to
Oh
join the
my
fun.
god.
Tetris 99 will be
99.
available
I made
for
this joke so
download
long
later
ago.
today.
Nintendo's getting into
Look
the
forward
battle
to
royale
battling it
genre.
out
Now we're
in
doing it with
upcoming online
Tetris
events.
of all things.
My god. That's
Prepare to kill,
That's hilarious.
survive, or die in
Ooh.
Dead by Daylight.
Interesting.
Imagine this. You're alone, struck by fear, struggling
so
to
this
survive.
has been around for a
Then
long time on the
you
like,
meet
PlayStation
another
and
survivor,
Switch and everything like
but
that.
it's
Or not
too
the
late.
Switch,
The
PlayStation.
killer is upon
I think they might have had it
Now
on the
run.
Xbox too. See that they're coming to
scavenge
the
for items,
Switch is
open
very
the
interesting
gates,
because it's a
and
very
escape with
gory
your
type
life,
game for
or
one,
take
which
on
is
the
something
role
you're
of
not
the
used
killer
to, what they've been
to
doing
make
with
the
Doom and a lot
so-called
of other
survivors
things.
Yeah.
your next
Nintendo's
victim.
maturing.
Terrifying? Oh yes. Satisfying? Just you wait. With loads of maps.
I wonder.
It looks silly.
Are the-
It looks silly in
cosmetics
kind of
to earn.
an amazing
You'll
way.
experience
It
a deep
does.
progression system while you're on the hunt or being hunted. Discover the true meaning of horror when Dead by
I
Daylight
wonder if
creeps
they're
up
gonna
on
release it
Nintendo
with literally
Switch this
every
fall.
single piece of like new monster
This dog
people
will
that have
ruin
come out.
your
Yeah,
day.
it's probably a roll up all the other DLC. Oh,
Okay, so they're doing Undertale. Ooh, this is something. Because Undertale was there, and they like were talking about it for a while. That's
really?
not what I expected. Undertale is a very strange game, but people love it.
Oh, people absolutely love it. I never tried it. I've been meaning to, but so they just put dogs over everything. The censor.
That's what it is. For free, you get this free thing with chapters.
Okay.
It will not be free. They'll charge you for the
Now
rest.
for a
Get the
message
dog
from the producer
centric
of the
one.
futuristic mech action game.
So this is the one
Daemon
that they
X
brought up
Machina.
in a direct or two ago, and then
Hello,
it
everyone.
was it,
I'm
like,
Kenichiro Tsukura.
cool.
Stop talking about it.
It's like, they didn't even. I don't even think they really quite mentioned the game. They just said, "Look at this." Okay, next game. Like everyone was staring at this and trying to understand, it's like, what is going on right now? They're like, "Here's a game that's coming out," and then
But
they
in the
continue
demo, you
about
can
their
battle
lives.
4 different missions while exploring the basic
So,
controls and customizations
there was a
of your
game
personal mech
way
known
back
as an
on
arsenal.
PlayStation 2.
You can also
I think
experience
it
a
was
boss
called,
battle on the final mission. So
Zone
please
of
try it out.
Enders, or Ender's Zone, something like that. That's very similar
After
to this,
playing
where
the
you control
demo,
the big
we'd
mechs
like to
and
hear
you're
your
fighting
feedback.
multiple people.
We'll be conducting a
I
short
haven't
online survey
quite
by sending
seen
an
something
email
like it
invite
Came
to some
across
players
this
to
time.
try out prototype missions.
It looks interesting.
If you weren't
I've
selected
been
for the
wanting to
survey,
get back into a
we
good
also
mech
welcome
game.
your feedback via social media.
I guess we'll see if this will
We
be that
appreciate
one,
your
but
feedback and hope to make this game the best it can be.
Because what have been other big mech games that
We
have
have
come
more
out?
to
Just
say
like
about Daemon X
Titanfall?
Machina.
Or that's all I
So
can
please
think of
follow the
immediately.
official Nintendo of
yeah,
America
not.
Twitter
I mean,
account.
not.
So
Yeah.
Oh well, they
there,
will
there
have.
was
They won't
one.
have Anthem, I guess, but
Nah, I'm not consider that a
should be
mech
launching
game.
this
They
summer.
they had one. I forget the name of it.
With
We
that in
fought
mind,
at
the
literal
development team is
monsters
working hard right now,
as
so
a
please
bunch of
stay tuned.
Gundam style people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they're full mechs or just kind of Gundam style.
Realistic racing is headed for
I would love
Nintendo
to see
Switch.
like a mech warrior even.
Grid
revisit that.
Autosport comes fully loaded with a mix of high-speed
Okay, so
thrills,
Grid is
believable
going
handling,
full sim. It
and
looks
a
like, which is
difficulty level
interesting
that scales to your skills.
because they start off as
You'll
a
feel like a
arcade
pro
only.
racer as you master the world's
kind of
fastest
arcade
cars to
racer
win
game,
motorsport's most exhilarating races.
That's a hard market
From the
to get into,
prestigious
man.
circuit of
because
Spa-Francorchamps
this one
to the
is
narrow
one,
city streets of
like a lot of the games
Barcelona.
we talk about, all the graphics,
All DLC is
this
included
one is
with
one that
100 cars,
really
100
leans
circuits,
into it.
and
It's
some
like
welcome
really
additions
hard
like motion
because
controls
the
and
gameplay
custom
itself can be
controls.
good, but it's not something that's going to
Players
break your
can race
console one way or
online
the
or
other. So what do
locally,
you do?
and two
You use
players
the
can
power
race
of your
split screen
console
on a single
to
system.
get
From
in
street racing to
and
demolition
do
derby.
these types
when
of games
Grid
and
Autosport
put it on
speeds
the
onto
Switch.
Nintendo Switch in summer 2019.
Yeah, it's gonna stretch it.
I think you're losing a big part
Enter
of
the
what makes
Viking
those
Age
games
to
unique.
experience Senua's journey again, or for the very first
Yeah, the
time.
power of the Switch doesn't hold up to those type of
Created
racing
in
games.
collaboration
And
with
Now, this looks good.
neuroscientists and people who
This
experience
is one of those
psychosis.
ones that they had like
Hellblade
This looks
pulls
really
players
good.
that
deep
they
into
were
the mind of
bringing.
Senua.
They had the other systems.
This broken
and
Celtic
relied
warrior
a lot on
will
how
embark
beautiful
on a
it looked
haunting
as well.
vision quest through
This
Viking
does
hell
look
to fight for the
decent.
soul of her dead lover.
Um,
Hellblade has won
for it.
multiple awards,
and I
including
think this is one of
BAFTAs
the
for
ones you can kind of
performance,
escape into a
audio and
little bit
artistic
less
achievement.
quality on the graphics.
British
and
game
you can get
and
away
Game
with it,
Beyond
but I believe
Entertainment.
with the ones like
Find
the
out
racing
why
type games,
when Hellblade Senua's
that's
Sacrifice
a huge
releases
portion
on
of it.
Nintendo
Is
Switch
how
this spring.
How
beautiful
good does it look?
looks.
Yeah. I'll immerse our units
Nintendo
in that
Switch
car.
lineup just keeps getting stronger.
Okay.
Mortal Kombat 11 proves
Yep.
the saga 25 years in the telling
sure-
is far from over.
I'm
With
sure this
all new
won't be
custom character
the
variations,
definitive version
plus new characters and
to
returning
play Mortal
veterans
Kombat on,
taking
but
up the
it's nice
fight.
to know that Switch owners will have a
If
fighting
In a
game.
fresh new
You got a
adventure,
Switch, you can
Unravel
play
2
it.
sees
Unravel
players
2,
take control
yeah.
of 2 adorable Yarnies.
This is a
Control
good one
both
for the
Yarnies
Switch.
on your own in single player, or play with a friend in local co-op for some
Whoa.
puzzling
Yeah, that's
platforming fun
really cool.
when Unravel 2 comes to Nintendo Switch March 22nd.
That's
For the
cool.
first time on Nintendo Switch,
Oh.
experience
So-
Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered.
so-
with
Three
revamped gameplay,
remastered?
Yeah, they did.
That's an odd one.
system like
Exactly
motion
what I was
tracking,
thinking
touch
when
input.
they showed it and they
Set
talked
in the
like
American
there was a lot of
Revolution,
rumors leaked
explore
about
one
it.
of the most
They picked,
iconic
like, they
eras
picked
in
3
history as you fight
Yeah.
for freedom.
out of all of
and
them.
independence.
Like I
Ushering
think
in the rise
most
of the
people
nation.
said 3.
All
Like
the original
well, at least for
downloadable
me,
content, plus the
Connor,
entire
the
standalone
main
game,
assassin,
Assassin's
I
Creed
hated
Liberation
Connor.
Remastered.
Oh my
Being
god!
included
Like
when they
after
launched
coming
together
from
on May
3 or 4
21st.
games with Ezio
Final
and then going
Fantasy
to
fans,
Connor,
Yeah.
oh,
better
it
open
was,
your
it left a
calendars.
terrible
We're
taste.
excited
Now-
to announce that Final Fantasy VII will
Final
find
Fantasy
its new home
VII.
on Nintendo Switch March 26th.
Great idea.
Bought it.
Print your own money.
You can also announce that
Seriously,
Chocobo's Mystery Dungeon
they have all these
Everybody
games
will
that's
release
just
on
like,
March
oh,
26th.
Chocobo
re-release-
Mystery
We're
Dungeon,
pleased
not as
to
much,
announce
but
that
Final
Final Fantasy
IX will
7
journey
definitely.
on
Print your own
Nintendo
money. Here you go.
Switch
Final
later
Fantasy
today.
9.
Once a
Yeah.
classic,
They just print. They
always
just
a classic.
turned on the money printer right
Yeah.
now.
That's all
It's
for
right
today's
right
Nintendo
later
Switch
today. They just turned it on.
Yep.
They warmed it up at the beginning of the
How's
show. Now they're
everything
just
looking?
going to do it.
Well, we have a bit more to share in this Nintendo Direct. Please stay with us until the end.
I really hope
Let's take a
some
look,
SNES
shall we?
console games make it to their online service.
But 7, I'm actually going to buy because I haven't played it since actually on the PlayStation, and even in the olden ways and how it looks, I'm completely for it. I haven't played that whole game through, and it was just masterful. It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
I never played it all the way through either. I should pick that up.
But that's what, like you said, it's print your own money because it hasn't the PlayStation and everything they were talking about. They were gonna re-release a remastered one for so long. You took too long, man. Nintendo's just gonna cash in on the old one and port it over. Like
Yeah.
Square Enix is gonna make money one way or the other, and here's how they're gonna do it by re-releasing the same thing.
So he just captured this thing and is using it to battle. That's interesting.
Ooh, I kind of like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like if you were to capture a Pokemon and then fight with your like literally fight alongside your Pokemon.
Yeah.
That's a nice little.
What was the game? What was the game that let you do that?
I can't think of it, but it looks nice.
It was like a Japanese title. I played it for a little while back in the day.
You're the terrorist here! You don't understand. My heart goes out to you,
No,
too.
but this looks. I like this.
All because of how
Kind
you
of like
were
the
born.
capture portion of it and fight
Doomed
alongside
to
it.
I like the futuristic kind of
Those idiots until you die.
landscape that's set into, because it's not just like a fantasy world that you would normally see in games.
Today has been most revelatory. Finally, we're ready for the final stage.
What the hell are they? Why did you make them?
I really hoped you two wouldn't get caught up in all this. Now don't go dying on me.
Designers. Ooh.
Huh.
I want to hear more about that one, and I don't typically say that with a lot of titles that come out of the Nintendo, like the reveals. Besides, like
What you just witnessed is Astral
I'm intrigued
Chain,
by that.
a
That was
brand
really
new
cool.
action game in development at Platinum Games. It looked like two characters were fighting together during battle, didn't it? I hope you're excited to learn more about how combat will play out in this
I
game.
legit am
Please
because
stay
I want
tuned.
to like. How often can you switch out of
And
these
speaking of
characters?
Platinum
Can you be
games,
switching and capturing
I'm
someone
sure you're
new
very curious
mid-battle?
about
Can you get
Bayonetta
new
3.
ones?
Rest assured, the developers of Bayonetta 3 are
I don't
hard
know.
at work.
Yeah.
And I hope you're looking forward to learning more.
It sounds
Our next
really
title
cool.
will be the last announcement
or
of the day.
looks rather.
Please
They
check
didn't
it out.
explain it too much, but it looks really nice. Okay, it's a Zelda. That's your boy. That's your boy
Mhm.
Link. I think this Luby spoiled it a little bit because I think it might be ahead of us. But this is Link's Awakening, and this is
Oh, is it? I didn't even see
this
that.
is the one Game Boy game that I remember it took me the longest to beat because I played it solid for a year straight. And
yeah.
I could not beat this one dungeon. I could not figure it out. I put the game down for 7 years, came back to it, and found out there was a crack in the wall that I could have blown up with a bomb, and then I beat the game.
Okay, so this is a
Whoa!
interesting remake. What?
Wow!
What? Wait, what did they do to Link? I'm not a big fan of his eyes there. Got these like beady little eyes.
This is the kiddiest I've ever seen Link, and that's saying something because there's a character called Toon Link, and this still is kiddier than that.
Okay, so is that a Goomba?
Yeah, they had a Goomba call-outs in the original.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, there was a very small part of it, like you saw there. Where
So, okay, I get that porting a Game Boy game to a 3D platform at this day and age is kind of hard. That's an interesting art direction.
What did you think?
I don't know that I would have went with that style. I
1993's
would have went
Game
with
Boy
something
Classic, The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening.
like Link to the Past,
Yeah,
or
I'm glad they didn't do
Link Between Two Worlds, even.
I'm glad that they didn't do it
After 26
straight up
years,
like
has been
like
Port.
that's it, port of it, and just kind of make it more
We'll have
colorful.
more to say in the future.
I agree with you though. That art style definitely.
Please look
calls
forward
for
to
Yeah.
the release. That's all for today's Nintendo
Even Wind
Direct.
Waker would have been
Thank
a
you
better.
so
Like
much
I
for
love the
watching.
Wind Waker art style. I feel like that holds up really well.
So here's the end. There's the end.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Oh, and
They
there's
just- they
that.
Went into it. So I'm intrigued by that because they mentioned Smash and they just said you'll know more about it, and that was it. And I expected at least 2, 3, 4 minutes dedicated to just doing that.
I think because they had so many like Smash Directs in the past,
Mhm.
they figured, well, let's focus on some of our other IPs that are coming out pretty soon.
Yeah.
The Link's Awakening thing kind of bugs me, man, because even the original cutscene that they had showing with that very old school throwback to like Link, I think would have been a better art direction than the very bubbly, very rounded. I don't want to say childish like, but it's very simple.
But it is very simple. It does remind me of a lot of like the childish type things and toys.
A lot of like the child dolls and toys, yeah, with like just the round eyes.
Like that they would just like take into the bathtub or whatever it may be. And it's so strange to me. I'm just not gonna get over that because that like it's literally the most kiddy. It's the kiddiest version that they've had.
Let me go back.
Like
it's so. You know what? Everything else is fine. I think I guess I just don't like Link's model.
Will be the last.
Let's get a good picture of his face. Like, this initial cutscene, fine, whatever. Do it in that style, even. Like that
See,
model of Link.
that would be cool to make it like an actual like cartoon rendition of it, and then put it into the Link games, like the Zelda games themselves.
Right.
Like if it was all looking like this.
Yeah, this style too is fine. Very gritty, cell shaded kind of style. I think that's great. And then it's just something about that. His face, you know what it is? It's the eyes and the face that kind of bug me.
And here's where that transition from the old timey to the newer times can sometimes fall off, because that's how his eyes were in the original Awakening. They were just the bubbles, whatever.
But you're dealing with a Game Boy game. I don't even think that was a Game Boy Color, right? That was original Game Boy monochrome style.
Yep.
You had gray, darker gray, black,
white,
or white.
Yeah, that was it. Or even then, it was like the light green color, or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe it'll take some time to grow on me, but it's one of those things where I was like, I don't know about this, and not sure what just happened to the feed either. So guess we're stuck looking at this link as we close out.
We'll try to make it quick here. Top 2 things, bottom 2 things you thought about this direct.
Let's see. Bottom 2 is definitely, of course, the Link design. The other thing that kind of bumps me out is that they don't have more content for Nintendo Online, because I think that it's a service that people are paying for now. They weren't paying for before, and if I'm just paying to play Smash Online, I'm not getting a ton of value out of it, right? They have all this original IP. They own all the licenses. It's not a problem licensing wise, from my knowledge, to port some of this stuff over. I think it would be an easy port to do. I think it would draw a ton of people to the platform and to their service. Top, Let's see. I liked most of what was presented. A lot of it goes back to remakes, though. Remakes and re-releases, right? You got the Final Fantasies coming back out that look,
like
Final Fantasy, and I'm down. I'm down for that. Again, that's I would have taken that over the Link's Awakening models.
Yeah.
I like some of the sprite for Persona, the Persona 5 character. I forget what his name is.
Joker.
I thought that art design was pretty good.
Yeah, it's very sleek. It's about. I expected a nice sleek design for it, but it looked very nice how they presented it. So yeah, I agree.
And there were a good couple number of surprises here that I saw that went, oh, okay, I can pick up that game. I think.
Yeah. The one of the ones that I'll put up there was that game that they just showed, and I can't even remember the name of it. With the linked characters and whatnot, because that's something.
Astral Chains.
Yeah. So it's something different that I haven't seen too much of, and I like the idea of fighting alongside the characters that you might be capturing or upgrading or having there. It's not just they're an accessory to you. You are both like in cahoots together. That is one thing I liked. Joker thing, I did like it. I obviously I didn't like this. Like, hey, we have a new update coming out. Want to see what it is? Good luck.
Yeah.
And
we'll tell you later.
So it was kind of a mixed bag about that. The things I didn't like was that there wasn't any sort of mention or anything at all about bringing Super Nintendo games over. That was something we talked about beforehand.
Yep.
I really don't like the idea, and this might be something because I'm not a huge racer person, but porting the Grid over to, or not even porting, even if it's
a new game,
new game onto the Switch, and it's just.
I mean, I think that's fine. I think for racing fans, it's okay. I just don't think it will do well.
I don't think if you're gonna be going out and getting racing games, this is a system for you. Unless you like your Mario Karts and your Crash Bandicoot.
They do the same thing with some of the other like the fighting genre. So you're gonna have Mortal Kombat 11 on there, and that's not gonna be the definitive version for that either. You're not. There are good, at least decent fighting games on the Switch, but they're all built for the Switch. Yeah. They're using Nintendo characters and IP, and that makes more sense.
Yeah, but like I think the grind was like the big one that kind of it left like a bad taste in my mouth. It's like, no, this is not something you should be venturing into. There are games that you can remake and bring over here.
Right.
Dead by Daylight.
Yeah, I think that was good. I think the graphics could have been a little better on that.
It was interesting, but it's not one that like completely put a bad taste in my mouth. I'm like, oh, it's something, but. The grind had a big portion of me. The model for Link was another one, but I think the overall big thing is that they didn't bring anything up about online.
Yeah.
Like you talked about,
they didn't even mention it.
There is this service that you're paying for and you're going out and you're paying for, and it provides these things, and they dropped it in September, and then that's it.
Yep.
It's like they had some things like, we're going to tell you more about it, and they're like, we brought you NES titles. Okay, cool, I guess.
Yep.
What else you got? Well, that's not enough. You don't want to play Dr. Mario for $20 a year. Granted, it's better price than all the other online services.
Sure.
But
the other online services have games with gold and PlayStation games that they're offering now.
Yeah.
I mean, they're getting more competitive with their own online offering. And, I mean, truth be told, the other online services have chat support. Like, I can get it in from the console, connect to my friends, and join a party, and connecting a friend isn't some monstrous task of 12-digit secret code that we've got to exchange, for via carrier pigeon or something. It's way easier. It's seamless to work with all the different games.
And they have a lot of things in there that you would take for granted, but like messaging each other. Like a lot of times we'll be sitting there, it's like, hey, I had a real good play on Smite, or I had a real good play on Apex. I'm going to send it to you guys. You're going to look at it. You're going to like it. Well, there's nothing.
There's no DVR support at all on the Switch.
Not at all.
Game capture.
There's no message back and forth. If we want to get into a chat, we have to go through this weird app sort of thing.
Yeah.
And there's no in-game stuff for it. We go on Xbox Live when we play Smash together.
We do.
And we leave our Xboxes on.
Yeah,
and
it's kind of silly.
If you're boasting an online service, I'm not saying you have to have these things. I'm saying you have to have something.
Well, that's the thing, right? So Nintendo's never been good at that stuff.
Yes.
But they have been good at their own games, their first party titles. So why wouldn't you leverage that to boost your online just footprint?
It's like, okay, we're not going to have the messaging and online chat.
We're not going to have a very robust ecosystem. We're not leveraging any of these technologies. But here's some, SNES games. Have fun. Okay, fine.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
I rather have that than messaging one another like the cool clips. Like, because if I get a clip and I save it for like Smash and DVR, I'll bring it over. You can. That's the way. That's why. That's another thing. It's like you can bring the Switch over and like look at this. Yeah. I'm not gonna haul my Xbox all the way over here for that. I can send it to you, and it's like, okay, cool. You understand your portability of that, so you don't have to have that messaging per se, but you're not capitalizing on anything else. You don't have this, and instead of to make up for it, you're like, play some old ass NES titles, and not even like the absolute best ones of them. It's like this is like the B plus, maybe B level of the NES ones, and no Super Nintendo. I'm not even saying do an N64. If you wanted to blow us out the water, throw N64 stuff on this online service. I'd buy 3 of them just for that shit. Seriously, but. They only have the NES, no mention of anything else. It was weird. It's weird to me that they would do that.
Yeah. Overall, I think it's probably not their strongest direct, but
no.
We'll see.
It had good things in it. It had a lot of good things in it. I'm not saying at all that it was entirely negative.
Mm-hmm.
There was just some questionable choices on what they included for 2 or 3 titles, and there was about 3 or 4 things that they didn't even mention that they should have. There should have been something to it. Or like, hey, you like the online service? We're going to have more coming up for it.
Yep.
That would have been enough. That mention of it would have been enough to know that it's on their mind and it's in the forefront of what they're thinking.
Yeah. And it looks, chat is going to be a monster, so we're not even going to look at chat.
No.
All right. Well, overall, I hope their future directs have a little bit more to it, especially on the online stuff.
Yeah.
But nothing dropping immediately that I feel like I have to go out and go get. It's a lot of stuff that's mid-year to end-year.
Yeah,
so
a lot of stuff
kind of a lull in the Switch space right now.
And that's fine. It's the amount of time to get to like June and July when they're having a lot of the bigger releases. This is a little bit of a downtime period, and I'm fine with that because it gives you some time to play some of the other games that they got out there.
Some catching up to do.
Yeah,
so
I got to go back and read the Rabbids game with the Mario Kingdom Battle.
Yeah.
I always love playing Smash to go through and get stuff, and which every new character that comes out, it gives you another week or so.
Yeah,
of,
I've
like,
still got Mega Man to beat. I've still got There's enough content that I have backlogged.
Yeah, so it's not like you're going out and buying new games, but at the same time, it's like they're like, we got stuff, I guess, and like not a lot of it's releasing very soon, which is fine. I wasn't expect a lot of things to be like released right now, but to mention that is that they did say that later today Final Fantasy IX was available. I never played Final Fantasy IX, so I don't know if it's something I'm going to run and go get, but it's still something that's like, hey, this is available right now.
Did they mention a price point?
No, they just said available later today.
Okay.
My guess,
$10-15, hopefully.
I would say 20 or 30, to be honest with you.
Yeah, some of they protect their pricing pretty well, but some of that stuff seems like
Nintendo is notorious for keeping their games at a very consistent price through most of its lifeline, unless the game does terribly.
Yeah,
I mean, all the way up until pretty much a month or 2 after Smash 4 released, Brawl was still $30. Brawl released in 2007 or 8, so we're talking years later, and it's still pretty close to what the sticker price was. And a lot of the other Nintendo ones, it's hard to find them on
It can be
sale.
frustrating to try to buy some of that stuff, but
like I bet you go out right now, Breath of the Wild, an older game, still going to be
$60. It's $60 for sure.
Full price, absolutely full price. You'll get a sale on it for $5 off, maybe, maybe. But they protect it so well, and that's something that with these newer titles, it's going to be expensive.
Yeah.
But overall, very good. They had a couple things here and there. I would say, scale 1 to 10, I'd give a solid 6.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. So, all right. Well, next time they do this, we'll come back and see what else they got.
Yeah, maybe we'll get Lube in this too. So
yeah, thanks for joining us, guys.
Thanks.
Okay.